Well, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the boat and boating and how to get prepared for the season. And some of these things are practical for safety, for comfort, and basically because it is the law. And you'll be surprised how many things need either repair, replacing, or maintenance when you get ready, and you don't want to find that out when you're out there. Here are the boat locations so you can have an idea. So when you talk about the left side of the boat is the port. When you talk about the right side of the boat, it is the starboard. The front is the bow, and the rear is the stern. Now, lights. Lights are a safety equipment that you must have in working order on your boat because it's the law. Number one for navigation. The other one is for when you're anchored. You have a red light and a green light. Red on the port side and green on the starboard side. These lights need to be on as soon as the sun goes down. You don't want to get stopped and they not be working. Check them at home before you go out on your boat or fishing, obviously on your boat for fishing or for fun, and that will leave you with safety, but it will also prevent the headache from getting stopped. On the top, or you can place it on the stern in the back of the boat, you need to have an all-around light, which you see here. This is also very important to have at night for anchoring purposes and navigation. Another safety and required by law is U.S. Coast Guard approved life vest for every adult and for every child. And you also need to have a throat cushion, U.S. Coast Guard approved also. So these are important things that will be checked if you're stopped. Okay, two more items that are required and one that is highly recommended. That is the fire extinguisher that works, that's a must. A whistle or some sort of noise device that you can alert other boaters in case of an emergency. Also, this is not a requirement, but a kill switch lanyard, that is important to have. You wear it on your belt buckle or on your wrist. Should you happen to fall off the boat motor will turn off. It operates as a kill switch, as a kill switch lanyard. Very important safety item for your boat. Another safety item is some flares or a flare gun. Very important. It is required by law, and make sure they're not expired because you will be ticketed. A safety item that's also a must, in my opinion, is a bucket and a hand pump to pump water out of your bilge should your bilge pump fail. Not required by law, but definitely something you must have. And what about your electronics? Well, make sure they're working. Your GPS, your depth finder, your fish finder. All these little things will make your outing pleasant. You don't want to have them breaking or broken when you're out there. While you're there, your compass also. Check your compass to see if it's working. And then your hydraulic steering, check it. There's a little knob there. You open it up and you can check the fluid level. Maybe you need a little bit. Put it on here on land. Don't wait till you go to the ocean to have a problem. Okay, I know this is one of the less favorable locations. This is where your water separator filter is at, your bilge pump float switch. You have your batteries, your battery connections. You have all the motors for your fresh water, your raw water, the oil for your two-stroke if you have a two-stroke. And you know, these are things that you want to check now and not have an uncomfortable day after you invested so much money in gasoline and bait and in food and then find that there's a problem in the boat. Check it here on land before the season begins, and I guarantee you your boating season will be spectacular because you have checked everything ahead of time. So this is the area that you want to look into for any issues with hoses, etc. Now in your motor, basically what you want to do is do a visual inspection and make sure that all your hoses, they don't have leaks. Make sure that you know where the thermostats are at. If you haven't changed them, it's a good time to change them before the season if you haven't done so in a while. And you should know when you change it. If you don't know, then just take them out and inspect them. You don't want those things to go bad on the water. Your spark plugs, that's another thing you want to check. Make sure that they're in good working order. When was the last time you changed the spark plugs? Do you know? If you don't, again, inspect them, and if they need changing, it's better to change them here than change them in on the ocean where it's going to be a big problem. Your filters, some motors have more filters than others. This one has a high pressure filter here. I know when I changed it. I know when it's going to need rechanging. There's the main bowl filter, which I also will inspect. Inspect the hoses, all the rods that maneuver your shift cable, your acceleration cable. Just take an overall look of your boat, all the hydraulic hoses. Make sure that they don't have leaks, holes, or possibility rotting away. Check your propeller. Your propeller is important. That's what pushes your boat. So make sure it doesn't have any nicks or that it's in good working order. Again, I keep repeating myself, but these are all things that you can do and should do on land to prevent these things from surprising you when you are on the water. At the bottom of the hole, you have your trim tabs. Have somebody work them up and down to see if they work appropriately. Just a general visual inspection. Touch the hoses, make sure nothing is leaking. I guarantee you, if you do all this, you'll have a better experience in the water. You also want to go under the boat, under the hull, check your drain plug, check the condition of your trailer, see if there's anything that looks like could be a problem. Your lights, connect your vehicle, check the lights, maybe you need a bulb to change. Again, these are things that if you have a new boat, maybe you don't need to do anything. I don't have a new boat, so I check it at least in the beginning of the season, mid-season, to make sure that everything is in working order and avoid a breakdown. I go as far as checking my boarding ladder to make sure that if I jump off the boat or somebody's jumped off the boat, they can get back on. So this is why, boating is fun, but it is work at the beginning of the season to make sure everything is in order for a safe trip out there on the water. Well, if you have time, warm up your engines the day before. Make sure it runs a little for you. And one more thing that you need to remember, very important. Check the weather. Make sure you just don't go out there blindly without knowing what the waves are, what the winds are, especially if you have a small craft. But most of all, have fun and enjoy your life. And by the way, don't forget your anchor. If you have one, great. If you have two, even better. But don't forget an anchor. And while we're on the subject of forgetting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell and thumbs up and all those good things. I really would appreciate it. We're trying hard to make the channel better every day. Thank you.